And this is going to be very brief. Just talking some news in my local mall right now, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty noisy. But I want to cover some things, man, that I heard today, and as of last night, and I wanted to do a recap on Watches and Wonders and the watch event Minutes and Hours. So let's jump into Watches and Wonders real quick, very brief. So I was looking at a couple of YouTube videos on what was the runaway watches for Watches and Wonders, and there are a number of them. So what I'll refer you to is I was looking at a blog to watch, and they have a top 10. So you can actually go into my description and check that out now if you like, and you can see what watches were hailed as the best, but you already know which is sort of a praise as much as a criticism, because you guys, I'm gonna just go to the number one, which is Rolex. Rolex is gonna always be the top dog. It's gonna always be the number one. Welcome in, Christopher White, Jay Jones. It's gonna always be the number one talk, the topic. I don't care what's going on, whether you like them, hate them, or you don't care. It's still gonna be talked about. I will read something and this is coming straight from. Once you go over there and check it out, you'll see. Said this year at Watches and Wonders 2025, new product inspiration and volume energy were relatively subdued, resulting in widespread lack of genuine creativity in original watches. That is like when you read into it, you'll see that's off top. Off top. What's up, Vic? Welcome in, bro. 9 batteries to change. Okay, hey, I'm glad you got that to do. It's a beautiful thing knowing how to change your own watch batteries, isn't it, bro? You know what I'm saying? I know you like that, man. Some people find it a nuisance, but I think that is so dope, knowing how to change your own batteries and straps and stuff like that. Today's watch. Vinzianico. Yeah. Ridendore. This is that ultra black. I had to wear this today. We'll show you my shoes. Matter of fact, no, yeah, I got on some 11s. Patent leather Jordans. The Space Jam. So if you don't know what those look like, just go check it out. You can go look it up. But anyway, Tag Warrior was another one of the top 10 according to a blog to watch. Now, I did watch a number of YouTubers talk about Watches and Wonders, and feel free to go, just type in Watches and Wonders and see what's going on if you into that type of stuff. But if you want to keep it on a lower level, right? You want to keep something that's that you consider more interesting, and which is, I think, is crazy that they use that terminology. They said it's relatively subdued, resulting in widespread lack of genuine creativity. But they did go in, if you read a little further in the blog to watch, they went into detail or depth of, even though these watches are they look the same, technology has changed. I know on that, the Land Dweller, which Rolex is considered to have been inspired by Tissot or the F-77 or what have you. There's a number of companies that actually went in that direction. Integrated bracelet look. Yeah, they say it's late to the party. Oh, another one. I didn't look into this one as much, but the Blancpain 50 Fathoms has a different size, case size. It's a smaller case size, and people are saying it's about time, but why now? Too late. All this other stuff has a high price tag for those that care. My opinion really don't matter, but I'll give it anyway. I think that as a collector, we will never be satisfied on what companies do. And yes, I know a number of people have been asking or wanting Blancpain to be smaller, and this year they did it. You got what you asked for. May have been a lot later than what you asked, but there it is. And guess what? I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, that thing is going to sell, because it is expensive. No, I don't. I didn't get one, bro. I did not. No, I did not get that. You got the wrong brand. See, you got to dig a little deeper, sir. Ducks out. Oh, I think you know what? They got some great designs. And you know what I think is dope? The one that Mark had. And I believe the one when Mark announced that last week, that thing sold out quick. And this is the beauty about watching what the big brands are doing, and then those companies that will provide, which I have an appreciation for, watches that reimagine, right? So let's just say that you can call them homage, whatever, but there's all type of ways you can say it. Copycatters, don't matter. I think it's a nice watch, especially with having such a solid movement. You know what I'm saying, like the NX35 or NX38. Um, I don't know much about the PT5000. I'm starting to see more and more companies gravitating towards that, but I think Duxile has they do a good job. I've actually seen one in the metal, really nice watch for the price. I'm like, go for it, because it's going on your wrist, and if you know that you're not about to spend or even attempt to buy a $8,000 watch, a $15,000 watch, or $2,000 watch, and you can get it for 120 bucks, $150. Yeah, I'm gonna say go for it, man. And that one is, yeah, yeah. I also consider the source, because I feel like this, and based off of the customer service I've received from Long Island Watches, if he has the brand available, I'll buy from him. I'll buy from him, because I saw he's truthful. If the brand does not sell on his store, he discounts them to get them out of there. They won't come back. So yeah. Okay, I'll look at it, bro. Noctua Watches in the building. What up? What up? What's going on, bro? All right. Now I'm going to tell you, I have and I just kept it at 7. I could have did a top 10, but these are my personal thoughts, right? Just me personally, from minutes and hours. What did I think was like the best, right? From the presentation, from the company, and the service they provided, here are the companies that I think, the top 7 companies I think, and I didn't do a top 10, the top 7 companies, and I got them written down right here. Christopher Ward, there's no order, I just wrote them down. Christopher Ward, Moles & Co., Nomadic, Oak & Oscar, Simier, Trafford, Fair & Swift. Fair & Swift offered the Remix, which give you a digital watch, right? And you can get that thing for 35, 40 bucks, somewhere around there. I just love the fact that he captured that old school vibe. He captured the hip hop portion of it, so he has a side and B side, and it has different colorways. I was listening to him talk. One of the, like that atomic purple, he actually got, somebody told him about the Game Boy, right? The Game Boy back in the day had that atomic purple, so he added that to the watch. So he has elements of like that old school, like Beastie Boys. Anybody that loved hip hop growing up in the 80s, man, like he brought the radio out, man, and I thought that was a nice touch. Plus, at a watch convention, that is so dope. To everybody has, like, they want to come see, but that was a watch you could have walked away with, man, with like pocket change, like 30, like most people can afford $35. And then he was giving a discount there, so you may have walked, it was like 30 bucks or something like that, which was pretty dope. I always like one more than Rolex. Yeah. Their prices are no joke, man. But like, that's another thing that I think is good about, when you look at Watches and Wonders, for those of us that didn't attend, and then you look at some local watches or what brands are coming close. I tell you a company, Spinnaker. Spinnaker puts out like the colorways, and it's, man, that's a beautiful watch. That's all I can tell you. And it has that 50 fathoms up vibe to it. Beautiful watch, man. And they have everything, especially if you're a sneakerhead and you like watches too, man, you can't go wrong. So you get to enjoy your sneakers, buying your sneakers, and then go up to Spinnaker and spend a couple $100, sometimes like $160 to, let's say, I've seen those watches go up to $400, but they always offer 25% off. So, or if they don't have a 25% off, just wait, it'll be 25% off. Say hi, I love that 50 Fathoms vibe. Yeah, that 50 Fathoms vibe, and I do not have any more in my collection that has that vibe, which I will bring that back to my collection at some point in time. All right, so going through the minutes and hours, the Trafford, Crossroads, Demier, I called them in the top 7 because of the experience they gave you. Now, it was still expensive, $2,600. Take that for what it's worth. You know, some people didn't find that it was worth the experience. Some did. You know, I honestly think it was worth the experience. That's just my personal. So that's why I say this is my personal list of top 7 watches. Oak and Oscar, the Atwood Chrono. The colorways are amazing. They have one chronograph that has a white dial to it. That thing is tough. Now, that watch is $2,600. But I just, man, once you look at it, the picture looks cool. But I saw it in person, in the metal. Great looking watch. Man. So Oak and Oscar and their presentation plus the breakfast they gave was amazing. Nomadic, I'm giving it to the Fior 555. Their GMT. It's a runaway hit. It's a runaway hit, man. I saw how that thing hit the market, but seeing it, just like looking at it, checking it out yourself, man. Great watch. They had a great presentation, as always. Moles & Co. Now, I'm going to tell you something that added a little bit more to me liking this company. One, I like the fact that she's very young, extremely young lady that started the company, and her family helped her, backed her, and stuff like that. So she has the 369 and the 528. The 528 is a shape that I wouldn't put on my wrist because it is far out, it's wide. I love the design, but that 369 most definitely, and I wouldn't mind having that in multiple colorways. Yeah, that thing is sick. It's a sick watch. I like it. Christopher Ward, even though they have a number of models and they got so much that you can choose from, I'm going with the Bel Canto. Now, the Bel Canto is not for me. It's not for me. That's not. I wouldn't. If I was gifted the watch, that'd be something different. But I wouldn't spend the money on that watch because I know I wouldn't wear it as much. That'd be just like a specialty watch. So yeah, that. But man, that thing is so beautiful, man. I like it. I like it. I just couldn't justify buying it because I know I wouldn't wear it. Because I'm more of a diver or sports watch or field guy or aviation. I'm everything except, like this is as dressy as I'm gonna get. All right, so let's see. Let me jump into the chat real quick. Trap, what do you think about Jody's video on Shinola? Okay, Thelonious, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna open up tonight with that, discussing that. Because I wanted to get into something before I talk about that. Before I talk about that. Let's talk about how Jody misjudged Moles & Co. He announced it. He mentioned it, right? And it's funny that what's funny? How YouTubers voice their opinions and they have such a large crowd, and they'll jump on it and they'll be like, yeah, you're right. And then when it comes out that these companies are successful and they're doing stuff, they're moving, people are getting behind it, it's like you got to eat your words, So I guess at the time, I don't know. I don't know. I would hate to be the one that say something about a company or watch and I got to come back and recant my statement. I think I've done that a few times. Gosh, it's not a good feeling. I promise. It's like, because it's one thing talking to y'all, right? And I've met some of you guys and I feel comfortable around you guys, but like sometimes it's easy to forget that at any given time, your content can be picked up or watched by anybody in the world, right? And it's like, man, bro, I'm sitting there talking to my homeboys on here, but then like the world is watching, companies are watching, and like I just put my foot in my mouth. Yeah. So I'm careful about what I say. I do want to talk about something that I just watched today. Nice piece of Ottawish. Yeah, man, I like it. Trap, how does it feel to have an arsenal of watches to choose from? I can ask you the same question. Sir, I can ask you the same question, man. I get a picture from you. You send me a personal picture of your watch, your wristwatch, man, and I'm like, man, you have me rethinking what I'm gonna wear for the day. So, hey, Oh, so let me talk about one of the reason, right? You guys, I don't know if you know this, but like I do watch a number of YouTubers. I just subscribed to what, 3 or 4 yesterday, but I've been watching Watch Chris, right? And he dropped a video probably 2 hours ago about somebody getting robbed, burglarized, stolen from. And let me break this down real quick. In his video, there are a couple of elements there. Young man, whoever this collector is, he said he's a big time collector, right? And he has a number of watches ranging in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, ranging in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, Rolexes and whatever else he had, right? So his job takes him from, what's up, Dwight? Welcome in. His job takes him away from home, flying wherever he got to do. And I don't know what he does. I don't think he covered what he does, because he didn't name this guy. But upon him leaving, going on this trip, his wife and kids go to pick him up from the airport. And when they leave, somebody creeps in, bow, gets him, strips him of all of his watches, took everything. Now, here's the other elements that you guys need to know. Based on the news, this is coming from Chris, he didn't have a safe. He didn't have cameras, no security system, I don't believe. So he got gapped. He's got all his watches are gone. The only watch he got left is what's on his wrist. Now, his watches weren't insured, right? Watch Chris mentioned in the chat. Guys, be mindful that he just lost everything, so don't come for him in the comment section. I will say this. You saying that, giving this disclaimer, please don't hit him over the head. I mentioned earlier, if you're comfortable with the people that you talk to on a regular basis, they may be like, okay, I got enough respect to follow your instructions. But watch Chris, literally is viewed by thousands of people worldwide. When you mention you don't have a safe, you don't have insurance, there's no ring camera, no security whatsoever, and you were robbed of all your watches, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of watches, oh man, you're fair game. You're fair game, because one thing I know about the internet, social media, YouTube especially, oh, you're vicious. You're vicious. Not saying you guys, but like there's people that did, you're vicious, man. And I saw one comment, they was like, hey man, come on man, look, I get it. You got robbed, I feel for you, but bro, you ain't got no insurance, you ain't got this. Are you serious? Bro, so yeah, the fact that he covered this story and put it out there for all of us to see, oh man, people are going crazy with that, because I was like, my heart goes out. I'm glad his family wasn't there when whoever broke in, because that is treacherous. Disclaimer might as well be invitations. Bro, I'm telling you, because he said it twice. And I'm like, yo, bro, as a viewer, as a consumer of YouTube, bro, you wasted your breath saying that. Because these people about to hammer, bro. And granted, it don't matter how much respect and love they have for Chris, bro. Like, when you tell a story like that, when you break news like that, and then he went on to say, because I did watch the video where Chris pretty much gave his backstory as to why he does what he do, talked about, his parents, and talked about his watch journey, and as a kid, burglaries and all this other stuff, and as a man now, he feels some type of way about security, so he's over secured, you know what I'm saying? He got everything, according to him, on this video, he has everything except Superman or the National Guard protecting his treasures. Everything else, he's solid, right? I tell you this, one thing about the internet, you put it out here, man, people will exploit it. I'm gonna tell you this, man. And I'm gonna get to the comments in a second. When I mentioned that my son was killed, this been months ago, and I came on YouTube, I looked down at the comment that was like the absolute worst, and it was so bad to where if I had a button to press to send a missile to that person's house and eradicate the whole block just because they associate with this individual, I would have done it. But I can't expect people to adhere or feel what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you mean well as a content creator, and we are subject to, get comfortable and say stuff on here. And gosh, man, your words, your saying, people take screenshots. People are wicked when it comes to YouTube, man. There's some people that's gonna look at this, man, and I know it, and I feel that I've been blessed up to this point. I get a couple of here and there. I'm not big enough, and even if I was at that level that Chris is at, yeah, I'm just like, man, you got to be careful what you say on this thing, man. Hold on, let me get into this chat. I got a 12-pound security expert. Hey. But who in their right mind would say and do that? Hold on. Disclaimers. Yeah, man. Vic, I'm talking about. They laughing. Jay Jones don't make me tie you out. Oh my gosh. And he'll probably roll over and show his Wayne before he defend my stuff. Wow. Dr. Bob's, I have alarms and other things to protect. Internet can be terrible. Ooh, man, the internet is terrible, boy. It's trash. I have stopped reading comments entirely. Rob, hey, I promise you. Rob, you got to. You have to, bro. Like, I'm telling you, man, especially at your level. At your level, bro. Like, y'all up there, man, please. Please, you put a watch out. You say something, man, it's like... And see, I like information I read. I've read a lot of your comments. I've I've read some crazy stuff. And I can tell what you don't. Because I don't see you respond to it. Some other people respond in defense because people rock with you. But I don't think I've ever read you respond to some of that stupid stuff. Vic, you see my post every day. So my thing is this, man. So my thing, and this is hate to say this, man, but like this is a learning moment. Consider your collection. Now, there was a joke, and I thought about it myself. I could be wrong for this. I may be wrong for this, but I thought to myself, well, you know what? If you had a collection of Invictus, you wouldn't have to worry about nobody breaking in and stealing your stuff. I know it is dark. It's wrong. I shouldn't say that. But like, if I'm thinking that, man, what are other people thinking? What are other people, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you know what? I don't want you to come in and take anything from me. So I am going to just buy a bunch of Casios, Invictus, some Paganis. I'm safe. I'm going to keep, you know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about you. But you know what? Here's the deal. People will steal anything. It really don't matter. People will steal anything, especially where you live at, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I hear this where if you say, hey, now I live in a nice neighborhood, I don't have to worry about it. Because this guy lived in a nice neighborhood. And obviously, whoever robbed him, whoever broke in his house, yes, they know that he works. Could be somebody, could be family, could be a trusted friend, but they know what type of watches he got. Now, here's the bad thing about it. Or here's one thing about it. If he has his watches registered and the serial numbers and stuff like that, these watches come up for sale and anywhere. I don't care what it is, anywhere. You're caught. You're caught. The flip side to that is, I don't know if he has it, like, because I know there's an actual system. I can't remember the name of this app that you can use to download all your watches, right? It's sort of like what Watch Crunch has, man. You know what I'm saying? For your own personal record, you can put in what watches you have, like, just to keep track your wrist time. But like, this also gives a record of what you have, because they see that you have a wrist shot and they be like, okay, and it kind of breaks down how many times you wear that watch. But I think there's actual website, and I don't know what the fee is, but it's entered into a like some type of worldwide, like a database, to where if your serial number pops up anywhere in the world, they be like, oh, it's a stolen watch. Got you. Whoever just pawned that watch, you're caught. CJ and Sharice in the building, Chi-Town's finest. I got a number of rude comments when I announced that my daughter had passed on Mother's Day last year. Ooh, bro, see, that's what I'm saying. Bro, people don't even, like, people are just so compelled to be evil when it comes to this, man. And one thing, I went back, I'm going to tell you what I did. I went back and looked at a lot of my old videos, which were so painful. God, dog, those videos was horrible. Sheesh. Sometimes I think some of these videos, I'll be like, dang, why did I say that? But they mine, and I own up to them, man. But I remember, I argued. Matter of fact, even though, man, Rich Park is my guy, I remember how our relationship started. This is actual factual. Rich Park did a video about Invicta, and he put in some wrong numbers. He talked about some stuff, and I said, oh no. And I'm typing, if you're gonna talk about this brand, you better get it right. Like, I'm going back and forth, and then me and him talk, we going back and forth, but like, we got to understand it and got cool. And after that, man, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But the internet is treacherous. People can say some of the worst stuff, man, and they don't care. In your pain, oh my gosh. And yeah, again, I shared with the world that my son was killed and stuff like that, man. And the worst thing, one of the worst things I heard was like, you raised a hoodlum. And I said, if I can get my hands around your neck, I'm gonna show you hoodlum. But you gotta have thick skin. And I did post it. I did come live. I did all that. So I exposed my business to the world, regardless of how many. And shoot, that was one of the most watched videos I had was my tragedy. Go figure. Have you seen the Matthew Tissot ripoff of the PRX? You know what? Matthew Tissot, I am not a fan of Matthew Tissot. Had a bad experience. And I'm sure that they put out some good watches, man. But nah. And then to add to that, the PRX has a number of competitors. Like Nevada Grinchen, I think does a great job. Man, and I saw Christopher Ward's rendition or their integrated bracelet piece. Think's phenomenal. But that one, Matthew Tissot, thumbs down. And the safe full of bang bangs. Yeah, bruh. Love me a Roddy. Yeah, man, Roddies are beautiful, dog. Man, a Roddy? Come on, bro. You say I have an alarm system, motion lights, cameras, and 130-pound Rottweiler. Hey, man, bro. Ohio Silver, that's a no-no. People steal anything like crackheads. Man, bro. Now, I will give you a piece of history. For me, when I lived in Gary, Indiana, yeah, people will break in and take anything. I mean, absolutely anything. I didn't have much as a teenager, but somebody stole my stereo that was already cracked up, man. Man, y'all remember back in the day, you had the house speaker. The house speaker burst, and I taped that sucker up, man, to keep it, like, I had tape everywhere. I had crazy glue on it. I had tape. They took that too. Like, who steals a speaker? It was a Pioneer speaker. The speaker was bust, but I put the tape on it. I put like some polymer on it. I put the crazy glue and played it. It kept doom, 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 doom. Man, bro, I said, okay, cool. We're going to keep it moving. I come home one day, whole stereo. I'm talking about an old school stereo, man. A Technics, man, back from the 70s, bro. And then the speaker was a Pioneer from the 70s. It wasn't no, man, please. It was just enough to get me through the night, man. I hit my tape deck, man, and just sit back, man, listening to some Beastie Boys, some Run DMC. Yeah, they stole it. So, yeah, crackhead can do anything. Mine does not play with strangers in the house, man. He's very protective. Oh, my God. Again, the same guy that caught, man, bro, you should know I'm lying, bro. Get out of here, bro. God, dog. Now you irritate me. And I'm being serious. You irritate me, bro. God, man, you my brother, and you get them notifications. You gonna call me? Gosh, get out of here. Words and safes are technically meant to slow people down, not necessarily keep people out. That said, a safe is way better than no safe. That is true. What up, James? But you know for sure, none of these people say that to your face. Yes, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I know this because I had a comment years ago when I was doing my whole Invicta thing, right? There was a comment on Facebook and there was a whole stir behind it. An entire stir. It was so reckless to where I was so mad. I didn't do any videos that week because I was pissed. We went on a cruise and the same person that started that mess saw me in person. It was like, yo, what's up, Trap? And I'm sitting there like, you started a whole commotion. And you get on here saying, what's up, Trap? Now, of course, I'm there to vacation and have fun. I'm not about to stir no trouble. I'm not about to... I was like, man, you got to be mindful what you say, bro. Because all that right there, gosh, man. I'm so thankful that I grew up. And again, I will credit the trolls and the haters, the people that have no sense at all on here. I do credit for you guys assisting me in putting on this thick skin. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like, who would I be considered as? Like Rhino from Spider-Man, Spider-Verse. You have to have thick skin in this thing, man. Or do like Randall Rob say, man, like, I ain't reading them comments. I'll look and see who I know and respond to you. But like oh yeah, the Dorenzo integrated model is your favorite. Okay, I like that. I got to get my hands on the Dorenzo. I love Roddy's. I hate how they end up with hip problems. Man, you know what? I think they need to, like, Roddy should, like, off top. I know this isn't a real thing, but like they should get that titanium treatment like Wolverine got his adamantium. And just have them infuse and put the titanium over their bones and let them go for it. You know what I'm saying? And of course that wouldn't add a lot of weight. Your dog will be lightweight with titanium, ready to go. Gary, Indiana can be rough. I drove to avoid it. Hey, bro, do not stop. I do not stop. True story. One of my buddies told me, he said, yo, Trap, I did the worst thing ever. I said, what you do, bro? He said, and this is exact words. He said, well, you know I ain't black, right? I said, bro, I get that. He said, well, just know I stopped in Gary. I got off the highway and we drove a little further down and we pulled into a gas station looking for directions. I said, what? He said, yeah, bro, I got out the car and there was a group of guys and it was something in me. He said I shouldn't do it, but I went. He was like, hey, how you get to so-and-so? I said, what happened? He was like, well, they told me they didn't know where the heck, you know what I'm saying? I was asking them, so we went on about our business. And I said, boy, you lucky. You are blessed. Forget lucky, you are blessed. You was protected by God. He had his hands around you the whole time. And maybe he made you look like you was black to them. You know what I'm saying? Because, boy, you crazy. You from the suburbs, bro. What? I said, man, that's what the shelter life will get you, man. You better pay attention. So, yeah, Rob, no talk, just straight through, bro. I'm from there, and I'm like, because them youngins, nah, can't fool with them youngins. James, boom, boom, in the building, my oracle. Patel Philippe came through, Laurier, Falcon, or relaxed, Yuck Master. Hey, man, I'm going with the Laurier Falcon for the win, sir. I am a huge fan of Laurier. I'm going to say it now. I believe Laurier will become one of the most legendary micro brands coming into a brand, independent brand in history. I'm calling it now. So on this day, I don't have a date. I look down like I had a date. I'm tripping. But on this day, I am claiming that Laurier is going to be spoken about just like some of the greats. Like some of the greats, man. Like your Tag Heuer or your Raymond Wild, which those are just two more of the... Oh, if you just got here, I left a link to an article, a blog to watch, and it'll tell you about the top 10 watches that they consider the top 10 watches from Watches and Wonders 2025. It is a great read. I think, you know what I'm saying, I just recommend you guys go over there and check it out. Even if you want to go right now, I have no problems. I almost feel bad if you just left and went to go look at that. Because it's a good read. It is a good read. Okay, let's see. And Gary, is Gary really that bad, or is it just that there are black people? I live around the corner from Newark, New Jersey. A lot of people is cap 99 times. Okay, so Thelonious, when I moved to Gary from Chicago, there was a lot of gang violence. There was a lot of stuff going on. And in 1995, we had the first time Gary, Indiana, had a martial law in place where they had the surrounding areas. They just hired a bunch of cops to come in to help clean up the streets because Gary cops couldn't deal with what was going on. Cops would respond to a situation and they were outgunned. You like literally, you would have to call in the National Guard to help them, right? Or special forces, like real talk. So Gary did not have a helicopter, so they had, I can't remember, Connorsville or whatever, somebody loaned over their helicopter and all of these surround the cops. So now you have a bunch, now this is the worst part, you had a bunch of cops came in, right? From all of these areas where they're predominantly white. Now they're handling black problems. And it was hands-on. It was hands-on. So they they took a hold to put the community in a chokehold, man, just trying to get the crime out. So yeah, crime was bad. Was bad. I mean, if you sneezed, you shot. It was one of them type of deals, man. Like they was just killing for no reason, man. It was very territorial. Then there was a couple of the projects that got torn down or gated off and stuff like that. So yeah, Gary was that, it was the murder capital, and that's because of how small it was. You know, so like you can have 10 people die in a day or in an hour. You know, so there wasn't a lot of people in Gary, and it was like, wait a minute. We have, like, if we keep this going, man, we ain't gonna have none of the youth going to make it. Like, and this is crazy. They should have turned Gary, Indiana into like the parking lot for Chicago or something, man, because Gary was terrible. But tell Philippe, hold up. Is the Rolex Landau a homage to the Laurier Astra? It'll be the other way around, of course. No, you're right. I'm going to say, you know what that thing remind me of? Honestly, I'm thinking more of, what was that, Boulevard de Ville? Even though the Boulevard is more like a rectangle or whatever, but it just kind of has the same vibe to me. But I'm still claiming Tissot. I'm still claiming Tissot, man. Like, that's just me. I'm claiming, you know, like Rolex saw that hey man, the integrated bracelet is just growing, so we're going to do it. And you know what's funny about that is, by them doing it, and some people are like completely against it, they're gonna, like, that watch is such a phenomenon to where it's gonna work. People are gonna buy until it's not available, and then we'll wait for, you know, Watches and Wonders 2026. Then there'll be something new. Thanks for the super chat though. ScrewTube isn't isn't liking my comments. Home of the Jacksons. Yeah, I actually went, so the Jackson Street is like a block over east of the high school I used to go to, Roosevelt. 1995 was 30 years ago, for example. Brooklyn is a completely different place than it was 30 years ago. So like right now, so ain't nobody there left. Ain't nobody left to do nothing. Gary now, man, it's I don't hear much about it, man. When I do, I mean, I go back to the crib every once in a while. Still got family there. I'll ride through, look. I mean, it is what it is, man. Sometimes it's a ghost town. There's a lot of abandoned houses there. Like, it's a lot of abandoned houses in Gary. So the crime rate, of course, went down. So Indianapolis is worse than Gary now. Go figure. You got a lot of Gary folks here. There were plenty of times I was outgunned. Jay Jones, you listen. You were shielded. You were protected, man. You was working on both sides, man. You a dirty cop, bro. Get out of here. Super chat bounce. It's not for the. Hey, you ain't lying. Yes. Yeah. That the Jackson Five is from Gary, Indiana. Yup. And they just happen. And here's the deal. Some people think that they named the street after the Jacksons. No, they moved on Jackson Street on the corner of Jackson Street. All of the streets in Gary are like either states or in presidents. Yeah. So okay. So the next bit of news that I have is really personal because this is where you guys that want to show off your watch as in a state of the collection, we can do that tonight at 7 o'clock. I will be live at 7 p.m. Eastern, and you will have an opportunity, a chance to show what did you get for 2025, or what is your favorite watches to wear? It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 10. What is your favorite watches to wear, right? And we're going to keep it at the 10 mark, right? 10 watches. Because I know people like Jay Jones will come up there with like 155 watches trying to show the world, and we don't have that kind of time. I'm going to also ask that if you do participate in tonight's, just showing the world what watches that you have, what do you think, what is your favorite watch to collect? You get to pick. If there's a watch that's not in your collection and you wanted to add it, what would that watch be? What would that one watch be? It could be something that's that's out currently, something that is upcoming, or something from the past. Because I know there are people that are like really diving into the retro watches or vintage watches, if you will. What happened to Lee? Man, I don't know. I think Lee been moving in silence, man. Lee, he might be out here knocking people over the head, taking their watches, bro. He's building up his collection, and then he's going to come out probably 2026 with his own YouTube channel and like, hey, rags to riches type story. Like, hey, look, I'm going to show you a story where I went from 2 watches. Now I got like 175 of the top watches in the world. I don't know. If I do come on, I will be nice. Jay Jones, you're never nice when you come up there. But we're gonna have fun, man. We're gonna have fun. It's been a minute since I, did a live where all of us can come up there and chat and talk and stuff like that. So I just want to open that up because I think it's important for us to, share your stories. And I really want to hear the stories behind it. I do. I'll be honest and tell you, sometimes I focus so much on what's coming out, what we have in the collection. We talk about specs, we talk about stuff like that, and I sometimes I forget to talk about the lifestyles of other people and invite that whole atmosphere, because that's what this is about. All this whole show, this whole live, my whole existence is really anybody can go buy a watch. Anybody can buy a watch, but I think it's important to, see people for who they are. There's some dope people in here, man. It's a lot of thought behind what you do. And then I wonder sometimes, like, okay, what possessed you to buy this watch? Why did you go in that direction? I have questions. So I'm going to be asking questions tonight. So it's not about me. It's about all of us as a whole, the whole community. Even if you don't bring a watch up and you want to talk about a particular watch or a brand, feel free to do that. Even though, like I said, it's state of collection style, just, like if you want to talk about a watch, because there's some watches out there that I don't own in my collection and I would like to have. One watch, I'm going to say major brand, that I would love to have a discussion about people, it is Tudor, right? And yeah, I know I made fun of it, like, because I said Watches and Wonders was all about, it was the Rolex and Tudor show, in my humble opinion. And that's coming from the realm of YouTube. That's not what I read online, like all the different vlog sites and stuff. But as far as YouTube is concerned, man, this was the Rolex, Land Dweller, and Tudor show. And then they just happened to get around to Vacheron and IWC and Cartier. Did y'all, man, Panerai has such a dope setup. I looked at it before Watches of Wonder started. I went over there and I was looking through all the brands, and I saw, y'all know I had to go to Panerai. Man, you can actually, on their website, I don't know if they still got it up, but you can put your finger and walk around Watches and Wonders Panerai 2025. Look up, and there's like fish everywhere, man. It was so aquatic, super dope, man. Now, whoever did the graphic for that, that's what I would love to do that. I need that. I think that right there will be so dope to actually get the room as a whole. So like if I'm covering minutes and hours of wind up, you could do a virtual thing, right? Man, that would be so dope. Vic, you will probably buy more than one. After my search, I'll be buying a watch for sure. Okay. Lee got caught in Gary, Indiana. Hey, he might be rolling with some people in Gary, Indiana. It's because most of the bigger YouTubers today came up during COVID, when Rolex was all people talked about. Also, G usually talking about other ones. Yeah, and that's drowned out, man. Patel is drowned out. And like, there's some stuff I've actually sat and watched. Watched a bunch of YouTubers talk about other watches that I didn't even know exist. And then these magazines, man, these magazines have brands in there that I can't even pronounce. And I'm like, but they are so amazing. They're beautiful watches, man, and they showcase like the thought process. I'm gonna tell you this. What's it? Glassou? The German watches has me intrigued right now. And one of the arguments right now, this is a question, this is a debate, I guess. Who did that? Somebody just dropped that. I think it was Wrist Unwound. Who do you consider to be the greatest? Is it Swiss? Is it German? You know what I'm saying? Is it the UK? Which watch designer or creator, who makes the best watch? Because right now, you can say like Rolex owns the market, flat out. But that doesn't make them the best watch because, I mean, dude, you got watches from IWC and Vacheron that will coop on Rolex as far as movement is concerned. German design? Oh my gosh, man. I'm just sitting there looking, and I'm not even looking at the price. I'm just looking at the overall build and what they do. That's it. I'm just looking at that as a whole, and I think those are dope. Let's see. What is the topic today? Oh, I was just giving some news. So if you just got here, I covered a blog to watch. Is actually, that's the only link that you can click on my thing in the description. I wanted to just kind of sort of news. What was the top 10 from Watches and Wonders? A blog to watch covered that, so you can go check that out. Also, I gave my thoughts on like the best 7 watches that was represented at Minutes and Hours this past Sunday, last Sunday. Was I there last Sunday? Whenever it was. Yep, last Sunday, the 5th and 6th of this month. And I said best companies, top 7: Christopher Ward's, Moles & Co., Nomadic, Oak and Oscar, Trafford, Ferris Swift, for my own personal reasons. And I also talked about Watch Chris dropped a video this morning about some big collector got robbed, and he didn't have insurance, he didn't have security cameras, he didn't have anything that would protect him or get him at least a portion of the money back. I would imagine that there has to, I just can't imagine you having all of these watches, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of watches, and have a policy for your home protecting your goods. I just can't see it. I can't. So like, even with my policy, it will cover my watch. Like if somebody broke in and stole I'm good. I'm covered. I'll be upset, but I'm good. I got cameras, but I'm good because people can come in, smash dash, you know what I'm saying? Like grab and go. Yeah, Longazone doesn't make their own cases, really. Thinking of getting the Tissot, the lock automatic two-tone. That's a nice watch, man. That's a nice watch. And I'm gonna tell you something. One of the things I remember, this customer, and I learned this over at Trifecta. There's a customer that didn't like it because the movement, you can hear it sometimes when it's oscillating, when it's rotating, and that's one of the characteristics of that watch. But it's a really nice watch though. Mule Glasoot is an example. Yeah, I liked it. They did. I think there was one watch in there that I loved from them, and it was created by helicopter pilots. German brands are innovative, not only the looks, design, but quality. Man, German brands are, man, legit, man. They make tool watches for like 1,000. Yes. Nightwing, what's going on, man? What's happening? How the family? I agree with everything. Yes, sir. Longest cases are made in Switzerland. This is going to be interesting too, though, man. Here's the interesting thing, and we'll get out of here in a minute. Here's the most interesting thing I will say about what we're possibly going to see in less than 90 days. With the tariffs looming, everything is sort of unsure, and for America, that's going to force some brands to make American-made products. I don't know how to feel about that, really, because just giving my personal opinion, Swiss-made watches have already been glorified to a point where that's the go-to, right? And as far as Japanese quality, man, like Grand Seiko, German, yeah, man, Longazana, and you got what was that one? They do aviation stuff. Gosh, help me out. Who was that? Kimosabi, because we talked about it. Fortis, man. Gosh, I love Fortis designs, man. And those watches they're built to be beat down. Those are tool watches, man. There's a number of, you know what? There's a brand, Constantine Weiss, right? Nobody talks about that because it is a cheaper German brand. I mean, they got some expensive stuff. They got some of their watches, their tourbillons stuff ranging in like the $5,000 mark. I actually have one of their dress watches, and it's similar to Glasoot Original. Like that one watch they have, I don't know what it's called, but it has like the case back front on it. Like on one at the 4 and 5 o'clock, it has, so it looks sort of like a case back. They actually designed one of these watches years ago, and I have it, and that watch was like $100. It's pure mechanical, really nice watch. So it looks like, it has the exhibition case back, but front and back, it looks like a case back on the front and the back of the watch. I'll show it. I'll show it tonight. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. What would you guys consider to be the best? Because I don't know if American-made products will actually, I don't know, can they get out of the gate? That's the thing. Like, I don't know if there was a company that made like all American, like the case, the jewels, sapphire, crystal. C. White in the building. In America have RGM, but they don't know cheap between German brands, Japanese. Hey, hate to cut, smash and dash, but I do have to go, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to go because I have to take that phone call. So I'll see you guys tonight, man. If you guys are available at 7 p.m. Eastern, let's come out there. Let's do our State of the Collection, man, and rock out. You know what I'm saying? So until tonight, 7 o'clock, man, y'all be blessed. Catch y'all later.